It's the very first episode of Friend in High Places, my new show where I talk to celebrities, actors, politicians, and my first guest. I couldn't think of a more perfect way to kick this off. It's the producer of this show, the one and only Bill Maher. It's Bill Maher. Bill Maher, everybody, one of my heroes. Bill. Shit. Hello?
New rule, okay, Matt?
Bill, how's it going? Are you coming?
Oh no, this is all wrong.
Oh, you don't want to shoot in my studio?
Do it at my place, okay?
You want me to come to you?
Get over here, Matt, right?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll be right there. Just 1 second. I'll be right there. Okay, thank you. Shit. Shit. Am I late? Fuck. Get out of my way. Move! Come on! Get out of the way! Shit. Fuck. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
From the comfort of Club Random Studios, it's Friend in High Places. And now, here's your host, Matt Friend.
Pulling up my questions here. Wow, I know, I'm real. And it's welcome to Larry King. Well, first of all,
look at that.
I know, it's an iPad.
An iPad for the talk show host.
Thank you so much for being here.
That certainly lends spontaneity.
Yeah, it really doesn't it? So first, I have to say.
May I do a song to start off?
Here we go.
No,
yeah, we have 45 minutes. Let's just play a song. No, I have to say, the first time I met you was in this studio a few months ago. I did your show.
Right.
And it was very surreal because you've been one of my heroes my whole life. And then to be able to sit next to you, I was thinking it really would be like if you got to sit in Johnny Carson's basement at 25 years old, or his den.
Weird, wild stuff, wouldn't it?
What would that have been like if you had that opportunity?
Weird and wild. Weird. I mean, Yul Gibbons would have been impressed by it.
That's very true.
Am I right,
Ed?
But
what would that have been like, Bill, if you could have gone into Carson's basement?
Weird. Well, I mean, I certainly have heard the stories.
Yes.
I don't want to talk out of school, but, I mean, I don't think it's revealing a secret that Johnny did coke.
It hasn't been offered. You only offered me Zyrtec. Yeah, that was it.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Carson, I think that's in the Bushkin book. I certainly have heard it from people.
Yeah.
I mean, and also in the 80s, it was not considered outrageous. I mean, they offered it in meetings.
Yes.
I mean, I heard it was Johnny, Richard Pryor, Natalie Cole. Like, I love it that Johnny was like doing coke. And it sounds like they didn't call it crack at the time, but when you cook it, that's crack.
He just didn't have a podcast. That was his problem.
I mean, but Johnny's basement, I mean, sounds like a crack den.
Well, I'm thrilled to be here and to have you as our first guest. You're the producer of this show. I couldn't think of anyone better to start it with. So it means a lot that you're doing this. So thank you.
Boy, am I hands-on.
Yes, you are. Not in the...
What's your name?
Not in the Trump way, but in a... what's my name exactly? Well, I have to start with this. There's so much I want to talk to you about.
Okay, go ahead.
But the fact that I get to interview you 3 hours after Trump joins Twitter again, it's like, God, someone higher up, we are truly in a high place.
Why is that such a big story? I mean, he was on Twitter, and then they threw him off, and then Musk took over. This is how much I don't think it's a giant story, because I thought he was already back on Twitter. I thought he was reinstated when Elon took over.
He had like one post, I think, and then now he's consistently posting again all day.
Because he's got his own truth. You know, he truths.
So you're not impressed by the story then?
You tell me why it's a big deal.
I think just that he's senses a change in momentum in the campaign, and now he's tweeting again to try to maybe
I see. Yeah,
signal. He's going AWOL. It seems like vintage Trump tweets.
Yeah, that's interesting that it's significant because he feels
And Trump is on with Elon.
Can I finish?
Go ahead. Yep.
Talk show host 101.
I was just doing
You
my
let the
impression of
guest
you.
finish their sentence.
Okay, good.
That's just,
You're
come
right.
on, you're 22?
26.
I'm joking.
Okay, great.
26. So you have these things to learn. But yes, you got to let the do.
You got it.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Trump joining Twitter again, and Donald Trump is on with Elon Musk tonight.
I think it's kind of significant because he feels like he's lost the momentum to Kamala. I mean, it was only like 3 weeks ago when we had that horrible moment when he lost part of an earlobe. And after that, they were like, oh, this election is over. I mean, it was
almost the whole earlobe, Bill, okay?
They were measuring the drapes in the White House.
Yeah.
There was like, why even have this election? It's just about how much he's going to win by. And suddenly it's reversed. So he probably does feel like he has to go back on Twitter, and who knows what else he'll have to do.
Trump is going on with Elon Musk tonight
Oh.
on Twitter. What do you think?
Well, that's another thing is Elon has come out. I mean, Elon certainly has been drifting toward that, but I guess in the last month or two, Elon has full-throatedly went from like, okay, at first it was like, well, the left has gone crazy, so I'm where I'm always have been. Excuse me. But you guys have changed, which is very similar to what I've been saying for a long time. Is like they did change.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've changed that much. But he has changed. I mean, he has gone full. I certainly haven't gone full conservative or God forbid, full Trump.
Elon or Trump has changed?
Me, I have not gone. I mean, I will say what Elon originally used to say. I remember he wrote a little diagram. He said, here's where I am. The left was here. Now it's here. I'm the same place, but now I look like I'm a conservative. I understand that reasoning, and I join it. I certainly don't understand why he went full on. I know he's very upset about certain things. His kid, that's a big one with him, his kid, the transition kid. Okay, he thinks they stole his kid. I get that. But he's
Is they the name of another person?
No.
Yeah.
but they certainly have driven him, or whatever it was, all the way into Trump's arms. So it makes sense now that Trump will do an interview with Elon on Twitter.
What's amazing about you is you're kind of like The Simpsons. You've been predicting things. You've been saying Trump would never leave office. You said Biden's too old, and you've said that Biden would not be the nominee.
Is that what The Simpsons do?
They predict things. It's legendary. It's
crazy. I didn't know that.
And I was thinking about this though, because the last time a woman with a Tim ran against Trump, they lost. So I was wondering if you think that Kamala can pull it off.
I think it's interesting that you're like probably the only person who noticed that. That's quite a political observation. Very astute. Yeah, Tim Kaine. I bet you. I doubt if 1 in 10 Americans could even come up with that name. He was so forgettable from, Hillary's VP. Tim Walz. Is that how I'm saying?
Tim Walz.
Tim Walz. I'm just learning about him. My complaint always with the media is that nobody except a few outlets, I think the Free Press does it well, and I think our show does it well, maybe a few others, try to get to the truth in the middle, no matter what it is. But like with Tim Walz, all I see is in the New York Times, he is the greatest thing that ever happened, and he's certainly not too far left. And in the New York Post, he is the left-wing devil who's going to bring about socialism on day one. And I'm sure it's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. Wow. I guess it's up to us to kind of figure out where that is over the coming months.
I'm always trying to find that one place where...
The normies.
The normies, the people who are not being controlled by one side or the other. But our media really is now where it was in the days of Thomas Jefferson and Sam Adams, because they each had their own newspapers at the beginning of the Republic. I mean, they had their own newspapers. And it's kind of like when I read the New York Times, it's like, oh, this is the Democratic Party's newspaper. They do a lead story. I'm talking about a lead story on what an asshole J.D. Vance is, because it's and then they do a lead story about how great Walz is. And the Post does, the New York Post, that's the other party's newspaper, and they just do the same thing in reverse. It's interesting. We're right back to where we kind of started. We're in the Republic.
I'm glad we're on 2 chairs instead of a sofa. You mentioned J.D. Vance couch. Your show's been off since the news has come to light that J.D. Vance fucks his couch.
But that was never even in the book. That was completely made up.
Even though it was made up, what would Bill Maher's take on J.D. Vance fucking his couch be like?
Well, rubbing your dick against something when you're first in puberty is, I would say, not only not outrageous, it's probably the norm. You have to rub your dick against something. I certainly remember when I was first masturbating. I was so young, I didn't know what it was. I just knew it felt good.
Yeah.
And you're under the covers at night. You're either fucking your pillow or I had a stuffed animal, and I wasn't imagining that I wasn't doing it because, I'm fucking this stuffed dog. It's because it was convenient. Convenient to my dick to rub against.
So you think J.D. Vance fucked the couch because it was convenient to his dick?
I do. I don't think it's weird when you're 12 years old or whatever you're not fucking something. You're humping something like a dog does. A dog humps the throw pillow. A dog humps your leg. It just is. And that's what when you're 12, you're like that.
Like a dog.
Yeah. So, if you're asking me to hate J.D. Vance or like him for that, I'm agnostic. It's something that 12-year-olds do.
Yeah.
And we have kids coming in after you. So.
Right. But the difference is I think J.D. might have been a grown man instead of being 12.
Oh, is that right?
I think it was a grown man fucking his couch.
But it was bullshit anyway. What's not in the book is what I read.
You know what? Kamala's Indian, she's black. No one knows what's real anymore, right? So with that being said, J.D. Vance fucking his couch. Let's turn to 9/11. That was a good transition. I thought about you because I did a joke about after Trump got the assassination attempt. I posted a joke on social media and I was criticized for that. And I was looking to historical examples, your show after 9/11.
What was your joke?
I just did a joke where I said how long before they convert the photo into merch of him with the fist up in the air, which wasn't even that bad. It was a soft take, but people were saying, how dare you make light of the situation?
Fuck them. What do you give a shit what they say about them, about a joke like that? And that is one of the more anodyne jokes I've ever heard. Christ.
My question for you was, because you've so elegantly and brilliantly handled every major world event throughout the past number of years, when do you think it's okay to make a joke after a tragedy or something of that importance happens?
Look, I'm the guy who got fired for making a remark about 9/11 6 days after. So, I know something about it. I will contend to this day, well, I don't want to go through the whole thing, but nobody at the time, what's really important about that, nobody in the audience at the moment, nobody that night, nobody at the time, in other words, who heard that was upset. It took someone who hated me for other reasons to get people going. It was the beginning of the age we live in now. We didn't have social media, but they did have chain emails. So you could stir people up and go, hey, aren't you mad about this? And wouldn't you like to get this guy? And it's like, oh yeah, I hate him anyway. Perfect opportunity. But did people really find that offensive? No, they didn't, because it was a serious discussion and a serious point that I wasn't even making. I was agreeing with someone who said the terrorists weren't cowards. And of course, when you stick with the suicide mission, you can say you're evil, but you're not cowards. But so obviously, if you want, you can look at it one way. Do you want to tell the absolute truth? Then you might suffer the consequences I did. Or do you want to be a little more nuanced? I think you should kind of split the difference. I don't think there's any heroism in just absolutely walking into a hail of gunfire that's going to kill you. But at the other side of it, I never really pull a punch. But, can you shade it with nuance and timing? Yes, and you should, and it's a case-by-case basis.
Because you went on stage the night of the tragedy and the fucking assassination attempt, and you said, I condemn it wholeheartedly. It's not something to make fun of. And then 2 minutes later you go, but at the same time, he's the luckiest son of a bitch.
Oh, and I did a whole routine about it.
And it was hysterical. So you threaded the needle, and I was looking to that and admiring it.
that is going to be one of my favorite days of 2024.
The Trump assassination attempt.
Yeah, that day, because what?
That's the clip. No, I'm
What?
kidding.
It was.
No, it's great.
It would be different if he got killed. He didn't. There's
Absolutely.
no tragedy happened. Well,
Yes.
for one guy, and that I said that on stage that night also. That a guy shoots at Trump, the guy behind him gets shot and killed. That's so Trump. It's just so on brand
so true.
to have the other guy. He
so
never
true.
goes to jail. He never loses money in bankruptcy. It's always somebody else holding the bullet or the bag. But I said that. But I love that day because I remember it was Saturday. Flew to Minneapolis. I had a show that night. As soon as the car pulled up to the hotel, before we got the bags out of the back, the guy from the hotel came up and said, "Trump's been shot." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah, but I think he's okay." And he showed me the thing on the phone. Got to the hotel room, turned on the TV, saw the coverage, and I was, only 2 hours later do I have to be on stage. We do these shows very tight. And it was like, okay, in 2 hours, I'm going to write this whole new 10-minute thing about it.
It's crazy.
And it was like, that's something I couldn't have done at 26.
Oh.
You just have to have been around a while. And the beginning of it was sort of serious. It was saying, as you were introducing the concept, there will be people who will do jokes or comments of the order, "What a shame they missed." Not me. Not me. You don't fool around with this kind of thing, and it's not funny, and it's not right, and nobody is more against Trump being president than me, but that is not something you fool around with, and it's not right, and liberals don't laugh at other people being shot, even if they don't like them. And so I was glad I staked my opinion on that, and we got it out virally, which is great. But the other reason I said I'm glad that he's okay is because now I can keep doing jokes about him because I want to, and I'm going to keep doing jokes about him.
So that actually brings me to something, which is this, Bill. You haven't had Donald Trump on Real Time, and I was thinking,
Not for not
perhaps we could act it out right now. You
Yeah.
have Trump on your show. So, Bill, here's my question. Okay, so Bill Maher is a slick guy. You're a nasty guy. You're a pig. Many are saying it. You criticize me every single. Look at you falling over in your chair like Slick Gavin Newsom. But a lot of people are saying that Bill's a little salty because I didn't pick him to be my VP. It was you or RFK. Those the ones. So, Bill, ask me the question. What's your one question, Bill? Go ahead and ask it.
That is great.
I said to ask me the question, Bill. What's your question for me?
I don't know, but that is really a great impression.
He's losing his mind. He can't even ask a question. It's like Sleepy Joe Biden at the debate.
My question for you would be,
What's the question?
Why can't you admit that you lost the election? Because everything else about you,
Well, that's true.
I could somewhat get by, although I probably would still never vote for you.
Love
But
that,
but
right?
it would be more in the realm of possibility.
Right.
As long as you will not concede that you lost the last election, and certainly you're not going to concede
Sure.
if you lose the next
Sure.
one, you just put out of bounds any possibility that I could ever be on your side.
Well, you
And
know
I
what, Bill?
think-
They say I accidentally watch your show. I always accidentally do.
Yes, I say that.
And I won the election fair and square, and you'd be an excellent press secretary. So thank you very much, honey, and go back to China.
But you didn't win it. That's the thing.
Oh, but I did, and it's time to move on.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you
time
very
to
much.
move on.
And by the way, there's some questions that I can't ask as myself, so I have celebrities. Howard Stern had a question for you. And Howard's question was this, Bill. Here's what I want to know. Here's what I want to know. Now, Bill, you're a sexy guy, right? You're sexy.
so
You're
good.
successful. You've done it all. In other words, you're the king of the industry. So it's been known that you've liked chocolate in the past. So do you want to bang Robin?
Boy, if I closed my eyes,
Right.
I would not know that was not Howard
Right.
Stern. That
So you
is
don't want to bang
really
Robin?
good.
Okay, right. Moving on.
Well, I mean, I love Robin, but
Right.
we're both too old.
You just don't want to bang her. Right.
We're too old.
You're too old. Okay, great. Now, I'm Gen Z. I happen to be a Gen Z comedian. You seem thrilled about that.
Right.
You love talking about Gen Z. I had a question, which is, if you could wave a magic wand and change one thing about my generation, Gen Z, what would it be?
Too fragile. Way too fragile. Grow a pair. I mean, who do I see when there's still people wearing fucking masks It's not people my age. It's people your age. The people with the good immune system. The people who shouldn't have to worry about this at all.
And Leonardo DiCaprio in a club.
He wears a mask and a
Covers his face, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I cut you off, but
I don't know what that. Why does he do that?
disguise.
Disguise. Well, then what's the point of being Leonardo DiCaprio? What a dumb strategy that is. But yeah, kids. I mean, they're full of anxiety over nothing. I mean, they also. I mean, I could go on with a list of what I do find lacking. And the anxiety really is an outgrowth of lack of knowledge. If they only knew how good they have it, if they only had any perspective about what could go wrong in life, where things are worse in the world, where things have been worse in history, but they live in this like completely isolated moment where nothing happened before they were born, so they don't know that. Nothing happens anywhere else. They don't think about anything anywhere else in the world. So it's just their world. So anything that's bad in their world, like COVID, it's like the worst thing that ever happened. So if they had a little perspective about how bad it could be, the anxiety level would probably go down. But way too much anxiety, way too fragile, and just don't be such fucking pussies.
Thanks for the eye contact. We need more Karnak fans in my generation, right? More Karnak fans. Okay, if you're a Karnak fan, that's very fine. Okay, Bill Maher, we look to you for opinions on really everything that happens in our society, economically, whatever it is.
Sure.
And I'm more curious about who you want to bang. So I have a new game called Fuck, Marry, Bill. Here we go. Fuck, marry, Bill. You get to fuck one, marry one, and instead of kill one, it's Bill one, named after Bill Maher. Marjorie
Bill
Taylor.
one, but what fuck I get.
Fuck?
Marry, what is the verb here?
Instead of kill, it's Bill after Bill Maher. So,
so
fuck
kill.
one, marry one, and then Bill
So it's
one.
really fuck, marry, or kill.
But fuck, marry, or Bill. That's correct. Okay, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert,
Makes
or
no
Lara
sense.
Trump.
Wait, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Lauren Boebert, Lara Trump.
I guess I think I'd fuck Lauren Trump first. She's kind of cute, and that kind of. She's just that kind of chick who probably hasn't gotten it good in a long time, and I mean, you could probably make her,
Scream.
cry tears of joy is what I was going to say, but scream maybe for you.
Sure. Yeah.
But and then
As long as you put some of that stuff you do on Club Random in
marry. Oh God,
Cosby juice.
I don't want marry. I mean, obviously you'd kill Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I mean, then I'd have to marry Lauren Boebert. No, let me switch it. I think you could be married to Lauren.
Have you not seen how happy your date was in the movie theater? Maybe marrying her might not be such a bad thing.
No, I think I could. I would rather marry Laura Trump. Because she's not crazy. I mean, it would be horrible to be married to Lauren Boebert. So I'd fuck her and marry Laura Trump. Okay.
J.D. Vance, Tucker Carlson, Doug Burgum.
I have to fuck these people.
Yes.
I'm not playing this game.
Okay,
with
fine.
men.
That's it.
That's gay version of this. I
Okay,
can't do that.
no gay shit. Okay,
No
fine.
gay shit.
I was working on you, and I said I wouldn't do my impression
No,
of you.
you can try. It's
No,
just-
I do try.
It's
and
just.
you don't hear it though, right?
I mean,
right.
like Trump. I close my eyes. It's Trump. Howard Stern, same thing.
Well, what
Me,
happens? No, what
even with my eyes open.
Right.
I don't.
But what you do is you go, and finally, new rule, and then that's kind of how you start the piece, and then you go like this, and I just don't hear it, right?
I don't, because I, occasionally do. Especially will watch the editorial to see what I did right or wrong. So I do. It's not like I haven't seen myself on tape.
Well, then I'll take it back to the lab, and I'll fuck off in the meantime. Okay.
Yeah, back to the lab.
Back
is
to the
right.
lab again. Go fuck yourself. Okay. Couple more questions, and thank you again for doing this. I just saw that Biden did this crazy interview where he says that Pelosi effectively is the
Right.
reason that he's out. And then Nancy Pelosi does an interview, and she says that Biden should be on Mount Rushmore. So who would be on your Mount Rushmore of presidents?
Presidents? Well, certainly a couple who are already there, Washington and Lincoln. Definitely not Teddy Roosevelt. That was grandfathered in. I think I don't know how that. And so it's Roosevelt,
Lincoln.
Lincoln and Washington, Roosevelt. Who's the fourth one?
Eichmann? No, that was a different one. No, that's a different thing. I'm not sure who that. Who is it?
Who is the fourth? Oh my God, I can't believe we can't remember.
Fred de Corvida, I think. No, that's not it.
No, it's got to be a president, Matt.
Okay, just trying to throw out some names
Is
here.
it Adams? Oh my God, Jefferson.
Jefferson.
Duh.
Okay.
Of course, Jefferson. Jefferson should stay. Absolutely. Jefferson wrote the, actually Madison wrote the Constitution mostly. Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence. Madison definitely should have been there before Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah, that is a which one doesn't fit. But, recent presidents, it's so hard to judge because, you need time.
Yeah.
And also, they're like the founding fathers. Do I think Obama was a really, really good president? Yeah, I do. Probably great because to be the first black president took something extra more than anybody else.
And I appreciate that $1 million, by the way. Thank you.
Oh, that wasn't bad.
I appreciate that. Keep going. Thank you.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
It's gotten better, hasn't it? Thank you, Bill.
Yeah.
that is a great guy. Thank you. Look at this guy. We should get hired together after this. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Thank you.
Unlike the one with me. But
really? You don't like it? It's such a subtle
it's not
dig.
that I don't like it.
Oh, it's such a subtle dig,
It just
Bill.
doesn't sound like me.
Oh, Bill, it sounds so much like you.
No, because I'm talking now.
I'm talking to you.
And it doesn't sound like me.
And finally, new rule, if you're going to do a show with someone, make sure it sounds good first. Moving on.
What do the people on the internet say about
Truthfully,
this?
I'm so fucking scared right now. I have no idea.
No, do they say it's a good one?
I literally shat in your chair. I am petrified.
No, do they say
I am so fucking afraid.
Oh, shut up.
But I love you. I'm scared. Yeah.
I don't know what you're scared of.
I don't know.
Like it could affect me.
I don't know.
Oh my God, his impression.
Oh no, not affect you. I'm talking about
But when you read like the comments from people, do they say that your impression of me is good?
They say that. I think so.
Oh, they do.
I think
so
they say
they're
it's
like,
okay.
oh, okay.
Well, it was a lot better than Trump's performance at the National Association of Black Journalists. That's like my transition. Thank you. Wait, I have a question. So Trump did a talk at the National Association of Black Journalists.
I saw.
Is someone trying to sabotage him in his campaign? Like he goes on stage and goes, "Kamala's an Indian. She might not be. She's black. She's an Indian." Some are saying it. Why did he do this?
Well, first of all, I admire politicians who go where you don't expect them to go, especially to hostile places. Kamala won't even fucking talk to anybody. Look, she's, I think, running a smart campaign. She's running a vibe campaign. There's no policy, which is good. People don't know a policy. They don't understand it. They can't comprehend it. They don't follow it. They don't care about it. It's, policy papers. That's Hillary. It didn't work. She's just running on a vibe like, hey, this is what you wanted, which it is what I certainly wanted for over a year. Get rid of Biden, get somebody else in there who's not a million years old. And she's like, it's positive. I mean, a few of us, Andrew Sullivan said it, I said it. If you got rid of Biden, you completely flip the script. Now Trump is the old one.
Yes.
And that's exactly what happened. Now she's got the momentum. She's got the youth. She's got the rallies with a lot of people. She looks happy and laughing. He looks sour and, everything's awful. And she's like, no, things are not awful. And I'm the sunny candidate like Reagan was. That's smart.
Do you think that will show at the DNC? It'll be a big contrast between the RNC with his 3-hour speech that he gave?
Yeah, because, she's not going to do that. She's not going to give a grievance speech like he did. She's going to do the usual Democratic Party stuff. I mean, don't make me like it.
Right.
Don't ask me to have to like it. But, I'm definitely going to vote for it. Yeah. And I think she's running a really smart campaign now.
So you think she's going to win?
I think. It's funny, if I had to put money on it a month ago, I would have said him. If I had to put money on it now, I'd say her. Yeah.
Really?
I do, yeah.
And what can change?
Well, I mean, that it just kind of broke the Democrats' way just by luck. Or by the stubbornness of Joe Biden. If he had gotten out a long time ago, but the fact that he got out right when he did is good. Don't give them a lot of time to think about it. People don't need a lot of time. They don't even pay attention till after the playoffs are over anyway. So, just Yeah, who is it? Okay, well, it's not Trump. She seems like she's smiling a lot. Yeah, her. Good. So I just think it actually worked out really well for them. It looked
Yes.
3 weeks ago like it was Trump in a walk, and then it's suddenly the other way around, which is really discombobulating him. He is off his game. Not that he really
Crazy.
ever had a game, but I mean, to your question about going on with the black journalists. Yeah, that's ballsy. Go on with the people who are most against you. See if you can turn them around. Now, of course, he's not rational, so he didn't do it. But, the idea is good.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he was ranting about, the black Indian thing, because I certainly never remember Kamala Harris accenting the Indian thing. He completely made that up. I mean, that was something that
Apu from The Simpsons.
yeah, people understood that she was a black woman.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of them who weren't very into politics understood that she also had Indian heritage. Then you got to know her a little more and read about her. Like, oh, I see. She's not black and white. She's black and Indian heritage. Okay, but it wasn't like whatever he said, like she switched around. No, it's ridiculous.
Last
Yes.
political question, 2 more questions. But in your book, which I absolutely loved, and everybody needs to get it, what this comedian said will shock you.
Everybody.
You
yes.
wrote, when you're childless, people have to tell you, you have to have a baby, but you don't have to. You have to have car insurance.
I forgot.
So, would you donate this line to J.D. Vance?
That's funny. I was thinking about when I get back to work next week, maybe the first editorial is going to be about that because,
Have to.
well, about the cat lady thing, because,
You were ahead of this again. You predict things.
and I went through
It's crazy.
scripts from Politically Incorrect in the 90s because I was looking for the one we did. I remember we did one, and I used to do this theme all the time, which was a lot more outrageous in the 90s because, believe it or not, in the 90s, people were still more into the idea that if you don't have kids, you're a little weird. And I was always standing up for the single person, and I don't remember anybody else doing that, sort of like making that a political issue. And we did a editorial once, or I guess back then it wasn't really an editorial, but it was a sketch at the end of the show where I think it was Valentine's Day, and I was exchanging vows with myself. It was my vows to myself to thank you for staying
What
true
year
to-
was this?
This is probably 1995,
Oh my
something
God.
like that. So I was going to say, if I could dig up that tape, I think I would love to
Me too.
find. I'd need to
And then
show
have him on
it.
your show and roast his ass.
But just make the case that, yeah, I mean, those of us, and me in particular, who's been saying for all these years that you are not morally inferior just because you don't have a family. It's just a difference of taste and choice, and there is no moral dimension to it. This would be a good time to remake that case.
In the theme of Biden leaving, which is very different, but you announced that you might be stepping away from touring.
Yeah.
Why are you making that decision? It's decades long, one of the most iconic stand-up careers ever.
Well,
What is it
thank you.
about?
Well, I'm going to do a special in December.
In Chicago.
In Chicago. It's going to be on in January. And it's always a good time to let the fields lie fallow after a special because the audience thinks on the road, if you're booked soon after, that you're going to do the show you just did on TV, which I would never do and have never done.
Right.
But they think that. And then it takes me an awful lot of work to put together a whole new act for the new year. So it's just a good time not to do it. I may go back to it the year after. I also think 2025 is not a bad year to not be on the road because I don't know what's going to happen with this country. I mean, if
Like,
Trump,
genuinely, yeah.
yeah, if Trump loses, I mean, the MAGA nuts are going to go ape shit. I don't know what they're going to be doing out there. And, the Hamas
Does it
lover.
mean another January 6th?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But also the Hamas lovers are out there,
Yeah.
harassing people.
Seinfeld is handling it like a pro.
He is, like an awesome pro.
Yeah, because of his stance on the 2 Ps, Palestine and Pop-Tarts. But in the early days, you hung out with Adam Sandler, right, at the Improv?
Yeah, we had a period where Adam and I I saw him the other day. I hadn't seen him in years. We haven't really talked in a long time. I'd love to get him here, but yeah, we used to hang out a little bit at the Improv.
Were there any just like immediate core memories of seeing someone like that for the first time?
No.
Okay, great.
I don't remember. I mean, that was a long time ago. I mean, he was like a comic who went on stage. He was funny. Of course, we know he's funny. I mean, I didn't see like this movie career, this terrific movie career he's had, but Adam's a great talent.
Were there any early signs? Because this is like, for me, it's such a huge deal talking to you, as I've said 100 times, and it means a lot. Were there any signs early on that you knew this was going to go well? Your career, like pretty quickly. Obviously, you were doing the Tonight Show, and
no, I mean, there's lots of no. I mean, this first couple of years.
So Milton Berle never had you over?
No.
Okay.
Why? What do you mean?
Well, you're having me over. Yeah.
Oh, I see, Milton Berle.
And I'll tell you, you're both packing some major heat. Yeah.
No, I mean, careers don't get made for a long time. Even when they do, they very often then go up, and then there's a big dip. I mean, there's very often that you think you're on your way. I mean, Frank Sinatra was the biggest star in 1939 and through the war years, and in 1952 or whenever, right before he got From Here to Eternity, he couldn't get arrested. I mean, that's the plot of The Godfather, is like, the band leader Johnny Fontaine, yeah. And like, hey, if I get this part, I'll be right back on top. But, he like couldn't get arrested. Yeah. I mean, that's Frank Sinatra. And you see that with so many careers.
Unlike Justin Timberlake. Yeah.
Well, because he literally got arrested. Okay, well,
hey, thank you so much for doing
pleasure.
this.
You don't
Truly,
have to thank me.
I cannot thank you enough.
No, we're thrilled to have you on this network. We think that you are going to be, and I have no doubt about it. It's funny, like when I was your age and in your shoes, like people would say to me what I'm saying to you is like, I think you stop worrying. You've got it. You're gonna just be smart. Just keep doing what you're doing, and you will get there. And I would always think, well, that's easy for you to say. You're already wherever you are, and I'm not. And I get that's where your head is. It's a shame you can't put that in the other person's head, because you really don't have to worry. You really are going to go to great places, and you're already doing really well. But I get it also because I was in that head when I was your age. When it's somebody else telling you, don't worry, it's like, yeah, but easy for you. I am living this life, and I'm going to worry. So I did worry, but, I shouldn't have, because it did come out. And it will come out for you.
Well, no, thank you so much. And I do want to conclude by saying, I don't know if people tell it to you enough, but what you do mean to these younger generations and everybody. And thank you, and hopefully hopefully another decade or 30 fucking years, however long you want to go. And yeah.
All right.
You're the man. Thank you for doing this.
Say goodbye to me as me.
Oh, really? Oh, now he wants me to do it. Okay, here's what's great. Sit back in your chair.
As if I'm even close to this gay.
And
How
finally,
ridiculous.
new rule, he's leaving to go fuck a man. Right? I'm kidding. Great.
If I really sounded like that,
Yeah, you don't.
I'd kill myself.